So this draws me into the first kind of question that I wanted to bring up because this article is about AI trends for 2025, but a little bit more about instead of trends, I want to focus in about you know what are kind of practical implementations that businesses can kind of dip their toe into for 2025 because there's trends and everybody just like mobile, just like back in the day CMS, digital experience, whatever you want to say you know, start small and grow. But what should, businesses really be thinking about in the beginning?
I think it is like that. Start small and grow.
I like
So,
that.
like for an example, let's talk about like a current state of it before we talk about the future state of it. Just for a little context, then
Yeah.
we move fast. The current state of the AI is everybody understands the generative AI. It's a
Yes.
super publicized, and it's always in the news, and people are actually talking about it. So we all know generative AI today. What we don't know is what are we going to do in future with a generative AI. We talked about just a minute ago this the trend, and I believe it's going to grow, but how it's going to grow. So let's talk about that. So right now, like you would, most of everyone is thinking the RAG, right?
Yeah.
Regenerative AI and generative AI. And what I'm thinking, everybody's comfortable with that, except some people who will still talk about the hallucination. But there are ways
Yeah. Yeah.
to solve that
Yeah.
problem, and
Exactly.
it's not a problem that's not solved today. It's a
Hmm.
problem that is solved. Hallucination can be solved within algorithms, and also
Yeah.
can be solved with your data, and also like tooling itself allows you to control the hallucination by setting a temperature and top P and all the hits. But
I
going
love that
forward,
analogy.
yeah, going forward now, when I think about 2025, like my mind is going 100 miles per hour, but I just want to slow it down. And I think people going to realize it's more than a rag. So in this context, we're talking about agentic workflows or agentic way of using
Actionable workflow.
actionable, connecting with a live backend.
Yes.
So we're talking about what are the upcoming performances. It's not a 2022 when they ingested at that time. It's about like, okay, I understand what you're asking, but I'm going to do this. Now that's a crossing over the line from my past, because in my past we were intent based, and when we were intent based means we train our samples to detect an intent, and
Yeah.
based on the intent we were doing something. So it was a lot of it was kind of called back in the day AI, but today's AI is not intent based. It's a
Correct.
lot of real time communication based. So adaptive communication, real communication. So it's
Yeah.
like AI doing adaptive. So you're talking about what are the performances, but then right next, like who is someone Hamilton, right? So you don't
Yeah.
have to talk about the performances. You're talking about who the person is, and you can change all that. In intent base, it was like a different way of doing it, but that's that.